Hello, everybody. Welcome to our channel, Opening Up the Closet with Tripat. I am so happy to be with you. Remember, in Opening Up the Closet, we just seek to get back into that closet, in our minds, that is in our unconscious, in our hearts. And there are things that we have probably buried there, very deep things that were probably done to us, things that we probably did to ourselves, things that were said to us, that we just don't want to relive or to revisit, and we have kept them so well tucked up in there, and we don't even want anyone to scratch them. We don't even want to scratch them ourselves. So what are we saying here? That there are opportunities also in those closets that are untapped. There are lessons learned that we have stopped reaching out to. Probably they are making us not reach our purpose, and we do not know about it. We strive to go back in there and just find out what it is that we can use to benefit us. So thank you very much again for being here with me. I am your host, Triza Patricia Achien. So today we want to talk about communication. And I figured out that communication is actually the backbone to mental wellness. And there are people who have been pushed into mental illness just because of how we communicate, of how someone communicated with them. Listen, before you communicate to somebody, because realize that communication is usually about the recipient. Before you communicate to someone, do you ever stop and think of how that person is going to perceive your information? How will they think? How will they feel? And then what action will come from it? That we have to really think about before we communicate with someone. And then what type of communication are you using, in what circumstance, and with who, at what time? Very important. As a leader, as a manager, as a parent, what type of communication are we using at any one given moment? Remember that communication has made some people commit suicide. Communication has made some people strong, and they are they're living their dreams. Communication has made some people sulk and keep quiet and keep to themselves. Communication has made some people be very vocal, and they're able to speak up. How did you raise your children as a parent? Did you raise them to speak out? Were you the kind of parent who, when your child talks or talked, you keep saying, keep quiet, because that's the kind of person that we are raising? Communication. There are many types of communication. We could have verbal communication, non-verbal communication. There's written communication. There's visuals. There's so many. But then, before you use any of these types of communication, stop and think about what effect or how the recipient is going to receive it. Most of us cannot achieve their purpose and dreams because from childhood we were told that we are not supposed to talk to our elders. What they did not tell us is, how are you supposed to approach your elders? Some of us were told, just speak out. You don't have to worry where you're speaking out. But then we have lost chances and opportunities because then we do not know what type or style of communication to use at what right time and with who. As a leader, are you getting back from the people you are managing or from your employees? Are you getting back what you have communicated with them? Are you the type of person who just shouts? What feedback are you getting from that? Are you the kind of person who decides, to sit your people down and listen to their opinions? As a parent, I keep talking about parents because we are the ones who are shaping the future of our children. Families are broken because of communication. I'm running, I have to tell her on her face. I have to see the way she reacts when I tell her this, because you want to break someone. Take that piece of land. No, don't worry. I have given it up to you. What you do not realize is this is the kind of communication that you have to use, written type of communication, because then tomorrow You start fighting about that piece of land, but it was not written anywhere. Communication has even made people be in jails right now as we speak, because a verbal type of communication was used. Nothing was documented. Instead of using the writing, the type of communication, you just use words of mouth. All right, the advantages to disadvantages to all these types of communication, and we have to realize and weigh that before we use each type of communication, what are the considerations? Communication has made cities grow, has made towns grow. I mean, the other day, because I live in Kisumu, there were people rioting in the streets because they were saying they were not told on time to be able to vacate spaces where they work, and they were expected to move somewhere out of town. The county council says they communicated. The people on the ground, they say they didn't receive any communication. So what style or what type of communication was used to be able to let everybody, be aware of what was supposed to be happening? So communication, I keep insisting, is the backbone to mental wellness. Many people are in hospitals because of what somebody said, what they heard, what they saw. Somebody was communicating something, but how did they communicate it? And at most times we write text messages in our telephones or through our telephones to somebody else. And I keep saying, when you're angry, take a moment, don't write. Trust me, people can read anger in the text message. And who are you sending it to? Sorry. Is it your boss? Because then if you're angry and talking to your boss, then you are so fired. Is it your child? Because then they read the anger from it and then they make a very poor or bad decision. Communication, it is as wide as it gets. We can talk and talk and talk. But bottom line is, take a breather. Find out what style, what type of communication do I use and with who? What is the content? What is the situation? Do we need to speak? Do we need to write? And then there's this one called nonverbals. Nonverbals are very strong. I mean, like a trainer, sometimes I am in a place full of trainees, and I've spoken for like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I realize people are yawning, people are sleeping. What does that tell me? Hey, it is time for an exercise. It is time for people to take a break, time for people to breathe. But if I don't then look at nonverbals, then I'll keep going on and on and on, and there's nothing that I am impacting in these people who are sitting here. As a leader, do you look out for these signs, the nonverbal type of communication? When you're speaking to your child, how are they responding both verbally and non-verbally? When a child writes a composition, you're a teacher, what do you read from what the child has written? Because maybe they're really struggling through something, and you can get information from it and share with the relevant people. Communication, I keep saying, very important. We will definitely have another session, and I have another talk about this. And please write to me and tell me more about communication, experiences that you have gone through because of poor communication, or benefits of that, a style or type of communication that you did. And let us go back to those closets, and if somebody brought you down because of the way they communicated something to you, and you have failed to even reach your purpose or experience your dreams because of what somebody told you, you're a failure, get back there. Because do you believe you're a failure? If you don't believe you are, then get back there, and get it out and work on it. Get back to those closets. And if you think that you cannot vocalize something because somebody told you your voice doesn't sound good, get back there, sing if you must, because somebody said something that was not right to you. Communication. Can we then, all of us, just find out the best way to communicate to each other so that we do not kill, literally, we do not kill using our words? I am so grateful to be here with you, and let us have another opportunity to talk about communication. Write to me, patachieng@gmail.com or tripatwellness@gmail.com, or call me on 0729 422 302. Thank you very much for being here. Until next time, God bless.